Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. A friend of mine had a birthday recently, so I decided to crochet a hard book cover as a gift for her. And then I thought, why not share the process with all of you? And I actually did it, that's why you're watching me right now. This project is great for beginners because it's simple, it gives you a chance to experiment with colors and create something unique. Of course, I walk you through each step. So no talking, let's get started. Here's what you will need for this project. Yarn. I'm using white and pink 100% cotton yarn, perfect for a 3mm crochet hook. Feel free to use any colors you like, but make sure the yarn matches your hook size. Crochet hook with a size that suits your yarn. Squeezers to cut the yarn, yarn needle for weaving in loose ends. To start, we need a foundation chain that will form the base of our book cover. Begin by making a slip knot as shown in the video and placing it on your hook. Then chain multiplies of 3 until you reach the right length. To make a chain, yarn over the hook, pull through the loop on the hook, that's one chain. Repeat until your chain measures the full width you need. Don't forget that you need to chain multiplies of 3. Now chain an extra 6 cm. This extra length will wrap around the edges, making the cover snug. Check the length by placing the chain along the open book spine and both covers. Now that the foundation chain is complete, let's work the first row of double crochets. This row will add a nice texture to the cover. First, make 5 more chains. And then skip these chains. In the 6th chain, work your first double crochet. To make a double crochet, yarn over, insert your hook into the chain, yarn over again, pull up a loop. You should have 3 loops on your hook. Pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over again, and pull through the last 2 loops. Work 2 more double crochets in this same chain space, making a group of 3 double crochets. Skip the chains, then work another group of 3 double crochets in the next chain. Continue the pattern across the row, 3 double crochets, skip 2 chains, 3 double crochets until you reach the end of the row. When you reach the end, in the last chain space, make only 1 double crochet instead of 3. This completes row 1. In row 2, we will continue building on the texture we started. Turn your work and chain 3. This counts as the first double crochet in this row. In this same gap, space between clusters of 3 double crochets from row 1, work 2 double crochets. Move to the next gap and work another 3 double crochets. Repeat this process across the row, working 3 double crochets into each gap until you reach the end. Follow along to learn how to smoothly switch colors within a row. Begin row 3 by chaining 4 to turn. This chain will count as your first double crochet. Work 3 double crochets in the first gap, the space between clusters, just like we did before. Switch to the pink yarn in the third double crochet. When making the last double crochet in the white yarn, stop before completing it. You should have 2 loops left on a hook. Drop the white yarn, pick up the pink yarn and pull through the 2 loops with the pink yarn to complete the stitch. You've now switched colors. Continue with the pink yarn. Move to the next gap and work another 3 double crochets using the pink yarn. Tip the carrying yarn. To avoid loose strands, hold the white yarn along the top of the stitches and crochet over it as you go. This will keep it in place, making it easier to switch back later. You will also have a pink yarn tail from the new color change. Crochet over this tail for a few stitches to secure it neatly. When you reach the last double crochet in pink, prepare to switch back to white by stopping, then you have 2 loops left on the hook. Drop the pink yarn, pick up the white yarn and pull through the 2 loops to complete the stitch with the white yarn. Repeat the pattern across the row, alternating colors as you go. Continue working 3 double crochets in each gap, switching colors as needed by following the steps above. Switching colors might feel tricky at first, but don't worry, through practice it will become easier to manage and look more seamless. If your last set of 3 double crochets in this row is done in white, you will need to switch to pink and make 1 double crochet in the last stitch space using the pink yarn. However, if your last set of 3 double crochets in the last gap is already in pink, there is no need to switch. Simply make 1 double crochet in the last stitch space with the pink yarn. So here's important to make the last double crochet pink, because in the next row we are going to work entirely in pink across each gap, creating a color contrasting row that will stand out beautifully. Insert your hook into the last double crochet, yarn over and pull through, then chain 1 to secure the last stitch. Cut the white yarn, leaving a small tail. Pull the yarn tail through the loop on your hook to fasten off. Your white yarn is secured and you are ready to start the next row. Begin by chaining 3. This chain counts as your first double crochet for this row. In the first gap, work 2 more double crochets, so you will have a total of 3 double crochet in the first gap. Continue across the row. Move to the next gap and make 3 double crochets in pink. Repeat this pattern across each gap, working 3 pink double crochets in each gap until you reach the end of the row. In the last double crochet, stop when you have 2 loops left on your hook. Bring in the white yarn and pull it through the last 2 loops to finish the stitch. Take the white and pink yarn tails and make a slip knot to secure the color change and prevent any loosening. Now cut the pink yarn and you're ready for the next row in white. Turn your work and chain 3. This counts as the first double crochet in this row. Move to the next gap and work another 3 double crochets. Repeat this process across the row, working 3 double crochets into each gap until you reach the end. Look at how beautiful the heart pattern is coming together. Now comes the fun part, deciding how many pink heart rows you want in your book cover. This will give your cover a subtle, unique strip look. Here's a suggested approach. First, decide on the number of heart rows. Think about how many stripes you'd like on your cover. Each pink row will add a colorful accent, creating a beautiful personalized pattern. For a subtle look, you might only add a few pink rows, while for a bolder look, you could add more. For my cover, I'm adding 4 rows of white between each pink row. This way, the pink rows appear as gentle stripes throughout the design. You can customize the spacing by adding more or fewer rows of white between the pink rows, depending on your preference. Every few rows, lay your cover flat and check the size against your book to make sure it's fitting well. Once your cover is nearly done, we will add one last row to finish the edges. We will work along the foundation chain. So you need to insert your hook into the first gap, chain 3, and make 3 double crochets in each gap along the row. When you reach the end, chain 1, cut the yarn and pull through to secure. Now it's time to create holders that will secure the cover to your book, allowing it to slide in and out easily. Lay your crochet cover flat. Place your book on top of the cover and fold each end of the cover around the book's front and back edges, creating flaps of holders that will hold the cover in place. Make sure the folds are snug but not too tight. There should be just enough room for the book to slide in and out smoothly. Use clips, stitch markers, or even hairpins to hold each folded edge in place while you work. This will prevent the holds from shifting as you crochet along the edge. Starting with the bottom edge, insert your hook into the first stitch at the bottom of the folded area, ensuring you are working through both layers, the main cover and the folded holder. Attach a yarn by pulling a loop through, then chain 1 to secure it. With your yarn attached, Begin working single crochet stitches across the entire bottom edge of the fold. Continue this process along the entire edge to secure the fold into the main cover. Be sure to keep your stitches even and work through both layers for a sturdy hold. Once you reach the end of the bottom edge, chain 1 to secure your last stitch, then cut the yarn, leaving a small tail. Use the yarn needle to weave in the end. Move to the top edge of the holder and repeat the same steps. To give your book cover a neat, polished finish, we will add a border around the raw edges of each holder. This will help the cover look more refined and add extra durability to the edges. Begin with one of the holders that you created in the previous steps. Find the raw edge, the open edge of the folded holder. Attach your yarn by inserting your hook into the first stitch of the edge, pulling through the loop and chaining 1 to secure it. Starting at the beginning of the raw edge, work single crochet stitches evenly along the edge. Make 2 single crochets for each row of stitches from the main cover. This will ensure the border lies flat and doesn't pull too tightly or stretch. So when you did the main cover, you used rows. So in the very least rows, you should do 2 single crochets. First row 2 single crochets, second row another 2 single crochets, the third row of main cover another 2 double crochets. So it should be the multiply of 2 over rows. When you reach the end of the row edge, chain 1 to secure the last stitch. Cut the yarn, leaving a small tail, and pull it through to secure the end. Use a yarn needle to weave in the tail along the stitches to hide it neatly. Repeat for the second holder. Move to the second holder and repeat the same process. Let's move on to the bonus step, crocheting a hard granny square for a decorative pocket. Make a magic ring. To start, create a magic ring as I show in the video. This will be the center of our heart. Chain 3. This chain will count as a first treble crochet. Into the magic ring, make 3 triple crochets. Yarn over twice, insert your hook into the ring, yarn over, pull through, then yarn over and pull through 2 loops at a time until you are left with 1 loop on the hook. Make 4 double crochets. Then chain 2. This creates the bottom of the heart. Make another 4 double crochets. And then make 3 triple crochets again. Chain 3. And then slip stitch into the magic ring. Chain 1 and cut the yarn. Pull the yarn through the chain to secure it. Tighten the magic ring by pulling on the tail. And now your heart shape is complete. Adding the border to the heart. Now we are going to add a border around the heart to turn it into a square shape. Insert your hook into the bottom of the heart where you made the chain 2 gap. Chain 1. This gives us a starting point. Then single crochet in the next stitch. Remember to hide the tail as you go to keep it secure and neat. Make a half double crochet. Start like we do double crochet. Pull the yarn through the 3 loops. Make a double crochet. Chain 2 and then make a half double crochet in the same stitch as the double crochet. Make a half double crochet. Make 2 single crochets in each of the next stitches. Then do half double crochet. Chain 2 and then another half double crochet, and all of this in the same stitch. This is creating the corner of our square. Then make 2 single crochets. And then make double crochet in the middle of the heart. This will go right at the center. Repeat the same pattern on the other side. This means you should do 2 single crochet, then half double crochet, chain 2, half double crochet, and all this in the same stitch, then 2 single crochets, double crochet, chain 2, half double crochet in one stitch, then double crochet and slip stitch to join. This completes row 1 around the heart. When you reach the end of the row edge, chain 1 to secure the last stitch. In the next row, insert your hook in the right upper corner as we show in the video. Chain 3 to start. Then make 2 more double crochets in the same corner. This is the beginning of our granny square. Next, skip 1 stitch and make 3 double crochets in the next stitch. This builds out the square shape. Then skip 2 stitches and make 3 double crochets in one stitch. Then in the left upper corner make 3 double crochets, chain 2, and then make another 3 double crochets. Then in the next stitch make 3 double crochets. And then in the next stitch make another 3 double crochets in the same stitch. Move to the next corner. Do as we did before. Work 3 double crochets, chain 2, and make 3 more double crochets in the same gap. Continue the pattern. Skip 1 stitch, make 3 double crochets in the same stitch, then skip 2 stitches and make 3 double crochets, and work 3 double crochets, chain 2 and 3 more double crochets in the third corner. Then you come to the last corner, make 3 double crochets there, chain 2 and slip stitch with the third chain of the first 3 chains which we made earlier. Chain 1 and then cut the yarn. Pull the yarn through To make the next row, you should insert your hook into any corner you like. Chain 3 and make 2 more double crochets into that corner. Don't forget to hide the tail to secure the join. Then work 3 double crochets in each gap. Moving along each side, make 3 double crochets in each gap between the clusters from the previous row. And then in each corner make 3 double crochets, chain 2 and 3 more double crochets to turn. Then you come to the first corner, make only 3 double crochets, then chain 2 and slip stitch with the third stitch of the first 3 stitches that you made. Chain 1 and cut the yarn. In the fourth row, repeat row 3. Continue by working 3 double crochets in each gap and following the corner pattern. 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets in each corner. and slip stitch to finish. Chain 1 and cut the yarn. In the 5th row we do the same. When you finished, cut any remaining tails and weave them in securely for a neat look. And that's it! Your hard granny square is complete and ready to use as a cute pocket on your book cover. Now it's time to add a finishing touch to your book cover by sewing the hard granny square into it as a decorative and functional pocket. First, place your book cover flat on a table. Decide where you want to position the hard pocket. A good spot is usually centered on the front cover, a few rows down from the top edge. Align the edges of a hard square so it's straight and evenly spaced. Secure the hard square, use stitch markers or small clips to hold the hard square in place. This will keep it from shifting while you sew it onto the cover. Cut a piece of yarn that matches the border color of a hard square. Thread it onto a yarn needle. Insert a needle through above the edge of hard square and the cover, pulling the yarn through. Sew the hard pocket. Your crochet book cover is complete. Now you have a beautiful crochet book cover with a cute hard pocket. The pocket is perfect for small items like bookmarks or notes. Enjoy your handmade creation or gift it to a loved one.